Okay, we got a 2011 Chevy Cruze. We're going to be replacing the thermostat, and it's actually the thermostat and housing. It's probably going to be the same from 2011 up to like 2016. Let me go ahead and show you the part I have here. Okay, so here's what this looks like, and you notice it's already got a sensor, temperature sensor on there, and you got the gasket, of course. So 4 little bolts holding this on. Okay, you're going to want to get it on ramps and have you a drain pan under here, as we're going to lose some coolant. I actually have been running water and flush through my system for another issue entirely, but you're going to want to have you a drain pan under here. Okay, so we got the hood up here. Let's take a look. And we're going to come right down here. Just follow this big hose over. And this is going to be your thermostat housing. So we don't have a lot to remove. I said just have your drain pan, try to get it positioned under here. You could, if you drain, a lot of people will drain the radiator. It's not going to do you any good, because as soon as you take that thermostat off, you're going to have more coolant coming out of there. So just put your drain pan under here and try to catch it as best you can. And of course, you want to make sure this has been setting and it's completely cooled down. I'm just going to start right here with this O2 sensor, just kind of getting it out of the way. Pull down right there. I'll just stick it over here out of the way. If you take a screwdriver and push these tabs from the back, you can get them out without breaking them a lot of times. So I'm just going to have to push in on them really. Well, it popped off there. So it's supposed to unclip. This one, however, slid completely off, so I'm going to put it back on here. This little clip up here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to push in on these tabs and pop it out, just like that. Okay, we're going to get these connectors. This has got a gray lock. Pull down on that gray part, pop it off. This one, just going to push in right there. Let's pull that all out of the way. Got a 10mm. I'm going to take this bracket completely off right here. Now at this point, you're going to have a spring clamp on here to remove, so you're going to want to get a hold of that and pull that back. I, however, have replaced those with these screw style clamps. Okay, now this hose is going to be really stuck on here. Now this type of tool works good for working it off. Sometimes I'll use this and some WD-40, but if you want to do it in a way where you don't damage the hose, you can take yourself a heat gun if you can get a hold of one. I don't know if you could get it with a hair dryer, get it hot enough. I usually set this on about 3 or 4, and you'll just want to heat that up really good for a little bit till you get that hose really hot. And then usually you're able to just simply wiggle it right off, no issue. So I got my pan ready to go down here. We're gonna see, and I can kind of keep this hose up here if I don't want to lose a lot of coolant or whatever. Like I said, I got water in mine. So you're going to need you some E-Torx. We're going to be using this E10 right here. So I've just got a little bit of an extension here, a 3-inch or so extension. We're just going to start getting these loose. This is not difficult by no means. Now, you're going to notice when I pull this one out that I don't have a thermostat in there, and that's because, like I said, I've been flushing the system out. And I removed this one because it wasn't working properly anyway. So we're going to go ahead and just get our little E10s out. Okay, so our last one here. Okay, let's go ahead and get that little bolt. Now you're going to notice that it's going to hang up right here, and it's because of this part of the casting here on the cylinder head. But if you kind of like work it, it will come out. It's just kind of a tight fit here, and you have to get it in the right spot. Let me see. I'm going to have to work with it here a second. I thought it was much easier than that to get through there. Okay, so I've got it about right there. You can see kind of over that way, and I'm kind of pushing it that way, and I think it's enough to get it through there. Okay, so there we go. Like I said, I'd already removed the thermostat from this. So we're just gonna kind of like wipe this up a little bit, and I'll go ahead and get the other one on here. Now this thing surprisingly was not leaking, but you can see, you know, how flattened out this old seal is. So very surprising. Now they sell this whole entire water diverter here with the thermostat, and they probably want you to have to remove it all, but we ain't doing that. Now this one actually, it went back easier than it came out. So I'm going to put a little bit of medium Loctite on these. Now if you want to torque these, I probably wouldn't recommend going more than about 50 inch-pounds. You see that brass insert in the plastic there? You do not want to over tighten these. Just let the seal do its job. I'm just going to kind of go by feel, but if I did torque it, it would be 50 inch-pounds. So I've got medium Loctite on here, just to make sure that it stays good. Alright, so we'll get those two bottom ones. It'll probably take you longer to get the air back out of the coolant than it does to take you to do this whole job, as far as replacing the housing. I'm just going to snug these up with my 1/4 inch ratchet here. So like I said, no more than 50 inch-pounds if you want to torque it. I promise you it will strip. So that feels good enough. Or I'll just go ahead and get the hose back on. Said you'll have a clamp unless you switch over to this stainless steel screw style. Get my magnet. There's a little place, little hole right here that slips onto right there to kind of locate it. So because I'm still flushing mine, I'm just putting water back in here, but at this point you'd want to fill it up with your Dex Cool or whatever and start working the air out of the system. And we'll just fill it up till we can't fill it anymore, and we'll crank the car up. So a lot of times once you get it filled up, you can pretty much just get it. You'll see the air bubbles working their way out. You can just drive it, but don't take it very far, you know. Make sure that you've got enough back in there that you can drive it, but a lot of times it'll just work itself out. Now the only other thing you'd want to look for after replacing thermostat is just making sure that your gauge is going back, you know, to about halfway or a little less than half, and it's functioning properly. So we'll take a look in here, make sure that we don't have any leaks other than the water that was already there. So I only got about a jug of water back in there, and this thing is pretty much good to drive at this point. Of course, I'll have to add a little more after driving it and working a little more air out, but that's going to do it for the video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. As always, I invite you to subscribe, and thanks for watching.